jagged.
It's
It's
mental.
fun. It is. It
You
really
know,
is.
the headline news today is Prince Philip has been announced dead.
Oh,
Yep. And I had that. I knew he died a year
Yeah.
ago, but I
Yeah.
wasn't allowed to say anything. And they said, "Oh, we'll bring it out in March, April time next year." And of course, it's now come out,
yeah.
which works imperfectly as a distraction from everything else that's going on.
Exactly. It's like,
Timing's perfect. Exactly. Watch over here. He's dead. I mean, this was one thing. The other thing, of course, is that this week, all the corporations, the United States government corporation, the British government corporation, the Commonwealth Corporation, were declared bankrupt in 2018. They were all signed off this week as, yep, there's no way back. You're now dead. Your corporation is bankrupt. You've got no money. You've got no assets. You've got nothing. So the deep state and the cabal now have no money.
Kind of hard to do anything without money there, Charlie, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Oh.
You have to learn to do things for love then. And that's not what the deep state and cabal do.
That's our job. That's what we do. It's like, you guys are on the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and it's just like this whole Russia and Ukraine deal going on. And I laugh at it because I'm like, guys, it's like, okay, you know, the mayor of Kiev in Ukraine is Vitaly Klitschko.
Yeah.
Heavyweight boxer. He fought in Trump's casinos.
Yeah.
He's not going to pick a fight with Russia.
No.
He has no reason to.
No.
None.
None whatsoever.
None. I mean, it's another look here, not here. So now you have England with the king, well, not the king, but the prince being, shown his official way out. Then you over here, Russia. What's in the middle? You got the Suez Canal deal. But then you have the deal in the Arctic with them sending a huge fleet down there. It's like, what's going on down there?
Yeah.
It's like, because I guess they tested a missile, a hypersonic missile, and they call it a Broken Arrow, of course.
Yep.
And the thing is remember when Q even came out and said that about Nancy having an empty quiver?
Yep.
It's like they didn't even have a chance to fire one of these off.
No.
Like that's why it was broken. It's like the first initial, it failed during the inaugural test. It's like, guys, why would they let the Air Force fire anything? The Air Force is under the corporation, the United States. That's why when you see Biden and Kamala, you always see the Air Force.
Yep.
When you see President Trump, you always see Marines.
Yep.
And then who's running who's dealing with the corporation back to the Republic, the Army.
Yep.
It's all laid out for us. I mean, all this was done back in 1860 to 1880. It's all during the Reconstruction era. This is why they brought up Posse Comitatus, the Reconstruction era. It's like we're supposed to look back there and understand that unless you learn from your mistakes, you're doomed to repeat them.
Yep.
That's history. And it's like, we have to change it. It's the only way we're going to survive. So we're learning and we're going to make it. So everybody that's scared, there's no need to be scared. I mean, when they said the world is watching, the world is helping.
Yeah.
They're all in the Suez Canal right now.
Yep. Yep. And there was so many people watching the U.S. military at U.S. Navy, Marines at one end of the Suez and the Russians at the other. And we're like, what are they doing? Yeah. They're coming together to trap the enemy in the middle. I mean, how beautiful was it?
Oh, yeah. And the thing is that they did it under darkness. They made sure to start off their radars. They're like, hey, guys, flip them off. It's like, you guys see, right? Yeah, we see. It's canal. It's like, stay right in the middle. That's why when you saw the destroyers and all that come through and the Dwight Eisenhower, it's like what they have in front of them.
Yeah.
It's like they have, so it's like, look, follow them. They know the depth, and then they can have their radar on, so they know the exact depth. They know exactly where to go, and it's like, boop, there's the Ever Given. It's like, thanks, Rachel.
Yep, and they moved the Ever Given into Great Bitter Sea, which is like the big part in the middle there, which yeah, it's incredible. How this has been planned is military, without a shadow of a doubt. We're just living in the most amazing time to when you're awake and when you're aware and when you're seeing what's happening. Now we're starting to see the frustration from those people that are not awake, who are getting very, very angry now. Yeah, it is. And there will be a lot more anger to come from these people who just don't get it, don't see it.
And
it's beautiful for those who do.
It is. It is. And once you actually comprehend what's happening, this quote unquote cult that we're part of, you realize that, well, it's actually not a bad thing. That's when you have the whole mainstream media and, downplaying us. And now people at Home Depot wondering, well, why is plywood $95 a sheet?
Hmm?
Well, because everything's held up over in the Suez Canal. It's like, I get this crazy conspiracy theorist buddy that was saying stuff about that, but nah, can't be. It's like they're hitting them right with the pocketbook. That's what you have to do. The only way you're going to wake these people up is you have to do it economically. Because unless you don't hit them in the pocketbook and hit them where it hurts, you're not going to get them. You're not going to wake them up.
Yeah.
Once it starts costing them because they're so fanatical about money, it's like, guys, it's not about money.
Nope.
It never was.
No.
But you guys made it that way.
Exactly.
So once we break free of this whole Babylonian money magic and this slave driving technique style, we're just going to stay slaves, but not anymore.
Yeah.
It was fun for a while it lasted. Not really, but yeah, we're ready to move on.
Yeah, we certainly are. It's just beautiful to watch it play out. It's been a journey that I never expected to take the twists and turns that it did. But it's been so exciting. And I watched a video today or yesterday, I'm still watching it, about the coding of our DNA. Our top level coding was one thing, and they're decoding all the different levels of our DNA, and everything is written clearly in our DNA.
It is, and that's why when it comes to that whole, what it is.
Yeah.
We tell people, it's like, look, what's the first ingredient in it? Why is it mRNA?
Yep.
It goes right to your operating system of your DNA. That's the mark of the beast.
Yep.
It rewrites your DNA.
Yep.
I mean, we've been trying to tell you guys, but it's like, look, it's all we can do. You're using your free will to go and get that.
Yep.
You're not understanding that you have a choice either to take it or not. And they're like, well, President Trump said we can. It's like, he said you can. He said you can do everything.
Yeah.
You have that free will. We all do, as humans, as human beings.
Yeah.
Every man, woman, and the children. I mean, you can't help them because anybody under 18 that's gotten it, they're not capable of their free will yet.
Correct.
So that's the good thing about that. So now we know what the rapture and the judgment are.
Yeah.
The rapture that didn't get it, the judgment are those that did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then you got the Three Gorges Dam. Woo.
Don't
know overnight. Yeah.
That's right on the edge at the moment, isn't it?
I'm wondering if they hit it last night because there was like at a couple hours ago, 4 hours ago. Whiplash posted something like, like the detonation of an atomic bomb. But let's face it, I mean, nukes they're imaginary. I mean, people are just gonna have to understand that. It's just a big mind screw. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just trying to keep us in check and the whole lockstep, with this whole Rockefeller deal. No, we're not. We're getting way too smart for this.
Yeah.
And this is what they didn't want us to do.
Yeah.
Was actually come together and actually, use our hive mind.
Yeah.
Once we get together in our collective consciousness and they can't show it to us, it's like, well, now what?
Mm-hmm.
So, but the Three Gorges Dam, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people dead, but I mean, are they really people?
Well, exactly. And 48 million people have already been moved out of the way. That gives you an idea. There's a lot of people to displace, but the preparation has been done. 48 million people have been moved out of the way because they're expecting it to go.
course they are. They've got the rods of God right there. They're just waiting.
Yep,
What's underneath the dam?
exactly
That's all
right.
the Bitcoin mining. That's
Exactly
why
right.
Bitcoin, once that happens, straight to zero
Yeah, yeah,
instantly. That's why people, I mean, I'm not some financial I never said I was, but I'll tell you what. You watch Dan Pena, and he'll tell it to you straight. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
everybody says it's like, what is Bitcoin? You know, it's like when Musk put 1.5 billion in Bitcoin, 1.5 billion in gold. Why didn't gold go up, but Bitcoin did?
Yeah,
Complete money market manipulation.
yep.
So, what exactly is Bitcoin? Nobody has ever explained that to us. But yet they have all this mining. It's like, well, what is that? I mean, is it, I mean, where is it or anything? But everybody saw the cash, and it's like, oh, this money. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's an electronic version of the old stock exchange, isn't it? Where they're playing with just numbers.
Yeah, that's all it is. Just, yeah. It's
I
like,
I have one friend who's in the financial world, and all these people talk about how many Bitcoin they've got, how much this they've got on the stock exchange. I've done billions of trades, and he looks at me, he says, "Can you afford to buy me a hamburger?" He said, "If you can't, you've not got nothing." And I think that's a lovely analogy.
it is. It really is. I mean, we're going to have to come to the, because let's face it, I mean, there's going to be some bitter truths that are going to come out.
Yeah.
Real bitter. And we never said the truth wasn't going to hurt.
Yeah.
But we'd much rather take it now. And that's what they use this whole movement for.
Yeah.
Is to train us so that those that, kept on saying, no, this is dumb and all this, well, then they're just going to go off the handle, unhinged. Then we're going to be there saying, hey, you know what? No, bring it in, guys. It's okay. Because the whole told you so and all that, there's a time and a place for that.
Yep.
This isn't going to be it.
No.
I mean, once people find out that whole post 1433, once they realize that this is all about the children and everything.
Yeah.
No, you can't. I mean, that's once people understand that this isn't our first go around doing this, that we've done this many, many, many times through many, many, many lifetimes. You have to start to wonder. It's like those that scream the loudest on our side. What if something triggered in our memory that we were trafficked?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But, we don't know. I mean, it's just this whole, death amnesia, death recycling amnesia trap.
Yeah.
So it's just go through the whole motion again, over and over and over, but break out of that cycle real quick. Once Starlink goes online, they're done.
Yeah.
And they're almost ready. So, and that, I mean, internet's fast at what we think it is.
Yeah.
The beta is going to be 7,500 times faster.
That's correct.
And the alpha is at 10,000 times faster.
Yeah.
Now, that's cute on the internet stage. What's that on a quantum stage?
Yeah.
Brains. That's going to be the Great Awakening. Because that's going to be like, once they break the whole matrix off, it's like, wow. It's like waking up from a bad dream, bad nightmare, whatever it is. It's like, whoa. Because we were never created to hate one another, to kill one another, anything like that. No. This is all just done under the evil few manipulated the system enough to get too much power, and that's why we're here now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just taking the power back to the people. Yep. I mean, it's basically that easy, and I mean, everything else is up for debate.
Yeah,
but said 99% would end up in a hospital. So the truth, thank God we're on that 1%. I mean, it's the only time you want to be a 1%er ever. It's like, oh man, I mean, just
I had a very interesting conversation with one of the team that works for us, and their mother is incredibly spiritual, and she's from the Maori descent, so the New Zealand, the origins, the original New Zealanders were Maoris. They're very, very spiritual, incredibly well connected, and she has a friend that had decided to have the vaccination. But the whole way through this year, she's been, or 6 months, anti-vax. Then suddenly she turned around and said, oh, I had the vaccination just so I can get out of the house. And the guy that works for our organization, his mother, was at the house. And she said, oh dear. So she knelt down with her and just laid her hands on her. And she said, Charlie, her spirit has left her body. It's still attached by a cord. But it's left her body. She said, it's incredibly sad, but the vaccination has detached the spirit from the body. And that's a very, very, very important thing that we need to learn as to what they're trying to do with our bodies by the vaccination that they're doing. And by the fact that it's still attached means that you can possibly recover the situation, but it will take years. It'll take a lot of soul searching.
Oh yeah, that's a judgment.
Yeah, it is. You had your chance.
Yes. And the thing is that in order to go to the next level, you had to understand that there's a high responsibility for everything we do.
Yeah.
Like I was listening to Jordan Peterson again yesterday. I mean, I love the guy. I mean, he just some of his Q&As, and I mean, just amazing. But he has this one in Oxford that's like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And he talks about free speech, and he's like, free speech is basically the respect for the manifestation of the logos. I'm like, that right there is the best explanation I've ever heard in my life.
Yep, correct.
Because people think that you could, like, freedom of speech is saying anything you want. It's like, no, it's not saying anything you want. It's having respect for one another and what you say.
Correct.
You can't go around, and this creep over here saying, oh, you can't be all fire in a crowded theater. It's like, hey, dummy, we're going to find a crowded theater now.
Yeah.
You guys, everybody's sitting at home and staying 6 feet away from one another. It's like, why all the sixes?
Yeah.
It's like
6 people at the table, 6 foot away. Be home by 6.
Yep. Why don't they roll out that real truth?
Yeah.
The big lie.
Yeah.
It's not flat earth either. That's way, way, way below this one. This is the big one.
Yeah.
So we know where all these people went during the 40s.
Yep.
It wasn't by that. It was by people are, oh God. And instantly people want to start like, I'm like, okay, guys. When they said everything's a lie and they gave you the time and the ability to find the truth and to put everything together, did you do it as a group? No. But we did. Because what we did was, this time, all of us got together, even though people don't understand. It's like we're all attached to the same collective. No matter if you put 5 minutes a weekend or you put 120 hours a weekend, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is just bring your piece to the puzzle. All you got to do. Just having that door open in your mind, just by even having it cracked, it could get fully blown open.
Yeah.
So it's
interesting what you said earlier about GESARA, because GESARA is part of the journey. The destination is to stop the trafficking.
Yeah.
To stop
and plus getting rid of all this the pharmaceutical companies.
Oh,
I mean, people are like, oh, the money. This is like, guys, that's not the money. I mean, what would you do if everybody can be healthy?
Yeah.
What if you don't have to worry about any getting sick or that all these healing technologies come out? It's like Do you honestly think we were created just to be dead in 60 to 100 years?
Yeah.
We're biologically immortal entities.
Yeah.
They knew it. We have the documents on it.
Yeah.
They didn't think we were going to find it, though. We
No.
did, though.
No. And the med bed is just a facility, because I was talking to a guy this week, Paul Mullett, born Down syndrome, who's cured himself. That was beautiful for me. Exactly.
All in your head. It's
All in your head. Connect to the source.
Yep.
Connect
Once
to the
you
source.
understand that everything is in your head,
Yeah.
then you'll understand that we're all a part of source.
Yeah.
We're all one.
And I put it into my simple language that if you believe God made man, which I do, and for the American followers, I always say, if you bought a washing machine from Whirlpool and it doesn't work, you take it back to Whirlpool. So based on that theory, if you believe God made man and you got a problem with one of them, take them back to him and ask him to sort it out. And we can all do it if we're connected. If we're not connected, you can't do it. But you can do it if you're connected, because the warranty with God never runs out.
Yep. And also, there's one more factor in that. God made man, but who manipulated us into human?
Yeah.
Then they started tampering with the colors. Then it's like, well, now they can start hating themselves by how they look. Because now we have a bunch of hairless apes running around. It's like, then they can just start, exterminating themselves. I mean, you got to start thinking outside the whole dodecahedron, because it's just a massive, the expanse is it's a lot of it is just too much for people to even handle, but you're going to get there one way or another, because nobody's going to get left behind. Not this time, we're all going, and it just, the whole, rapture judgment, it's going to take people a lot more time to understand their responsibilities in the next dimension.
The clues in the motto.
5,
where we go one, we go all.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
But yet, we're conspiracy theorists.
Exactly. Because we're uncovering
that. Yeah. It's
exactly.
Like, CIA guys, come on. And then you start with that, and they're like, oh, here we go again. I'm like,
yeah.
Are you guys for real right now? Do you guys not? I mean, what has ruined us? Banking. I mean, it seriously has.
Yeah.
The Knights Templar tried to do it. They didn't charge interest, but you had the Vatican and all that. They just wanted to sneak in and do all that. They knew that they could make interest, and then you start getting into the whole Templars and the Christ line, and then you have President Donald J. Trump, because he's still president.
Yep.
And yeah, like we've been saying all along, it's like people are not gonna, all these haters of him, not gonna like how this one ends.
No, exactly.
Once you realize who he is,
exactly,
it's gonna shatter but then that's when we can say, well, we did tell you so. It's like,
yeah, not like we didn't tell you.
Yeah.
And,
it's like when they talk about Messiah and Redeemer, it's like, guys, when they talk about Jesus, it's like, guys, it's the lineage.
Yeah.
It's still a bloodline.
Yeah.
It's still, you have to look for that bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's still a whole Christ bloodline. They think that he died, and it's like, no, he had children. And that's what the whole Templar deal was. And now you see it went to Portugal, and the whole, after they did away with the Knights Templar, and then there was a whole splitting up there. So they were hiding it. They hid it this well. I mean, you got to admit, it's been that was 13. It's 1307 when they disbanded them. It was October 13th. That's Friday 13th. But then Jacques de Molay, they finally killed him on March 18th of 1314. And when you know it, they dedicated the Denver International Airport on the very next day, March 19th, 1994. It's like, you guys are just that big of pigs, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's like, oh boy, you know. So when it comes to this weekend's gonna be a blast. I mean, Boom Week. This is just Boom Week started Wednesday, and then like Thursday, because I was making a joke on I forgot which show, but I'm like, because that Jason Miller came out on a tweet. He's like, make sure you eat your Wheaties, Mom. I'm like, watch something come out about Bruce Jenner or something like that. When you know it, it was simply overnight.
Yep.
That Brad Pascal comes out and says, "Well, I'm pulling for Caitlyn Jenner to be governor of California." I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, how deep do we take this? It's like, well, I mean, once you understand that we have done this before, this is the redo. This is Project Architeuthis all over again.
Yeah.
We did it once. We have to do it again. You just don't remember. We had a complete mind wipe, and it's like, hey guys, they said the world was going to end in 2012. They set us back a little bit more. It's just like they did it, and it's like, guys, come back again. We just got to redo it so we can win. So it stays on that storyline.
Yeah.
Because they pull this whole what was it? Oh, get over here. In fact, the SPARS pandemic, sir. And the date on this is 2025 to 2028. So I would like to know how, number one, this is beautiful because this is done by John Hopkins. And as a disclaimer, it says, this is a hypothetical scenario designed to illustrate the public health risk communication challenges that could potentially emerge during a naturally occurring infectious disease outbreak requiring development and distribution of novel and or investigational drugs, vaccines, therapeutics, or other medical countermeasures. The infectious pathogen, medical countermeasures, characters, news media excerpts, social media posts, and government agency responses described herein are entirely fictional.
Yes.
Because why in the hell, and this is great too, because I mean, they talk about the whole echo chamber, but then they even have where it's a female president and a male vice president. I'm like, really, guys? Look at it now. And they even call them Democrats. But they even have CDC tweets in here, right?
Yep.
How do you have tweets from November 18th, 2025?
Pre-planned.
Exactly.
I tell you what, if you want to send that to us, we'll put that in our back office on
definitely.
our website.
Definitely.
I'd love that.
Definitely. Oh, this is a delight. I mean, this is yeah, I mean, I'm looking at them like, this is exactly what's going on.
This is what they had planned.
Well,
I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for Donald Trump, that would all be true right now.
We'd be dead.
Yeah.
It even came down to this. The SPARS outbreak begins, chapter 1. Where did it happen?
Wuhan?
St. Paul, Minnesota.
Wow.
Now here's the trick, right?
Yeah.
Remember how they say, had the lions been let out? Have the lions been loose?
Yeah.
Well, I love this. We actually have the answer to that. We've always had it. Because what we did was, hold on 1 second. I'm just going to go ahead and screen share this real quick. Real quick. So there was a Sierra Whiskey is writing comics. There was a tweet, and it was right when George Floyd, that whole deal went down. It said, "Lion loose in the streets of Minneapolis. It's getting wild." They have a lion walking through a parking lot. And we happen to catch the picture on it and still have it. We kept everything. We made sure we did.
Yeah.
They said archive everything offline for a reason.
Yeah, yeah.
So now it's like, because I'll even include that as well. And
Yep. Too.
I mean, this is yeah. Then also we have what happened on Sunday. U.S. Special Forces arrest John Podesta and Huma.
Yep.
Then you had the Clinton Military Tribunal day one.
Yep.
Then there was the Chinese spy shootout at Fort Detrick, Maryland.
Yep.
I mean, guys, it's all rolling out. And people are like, oh, but it's on beforeitsnews.com. It's like, guys, when you think it's the news, you know it's all propaganda.
Yep.
When it's before it's news, it's the truth.
Yep.
Once it hits the news, that's when you know it's completely manipulated.
Yep.
You have to see how it's all they're talking to us in code. But
Yep.
we have to start understanding it's like,
Yeah.
you know, there's always double meanings. It's like, well, what's wrong about this? You know, it's like when they say like the golden dawn, you know,
Yeah.
well, what about the golden dawn? You know, what happens at dawn? The sun rises, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sun, they're double meanings.
Mm-hmm.
You have sun, and then you have SON.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, here comes Trump, you know, because we also have that, the illuminated sons of the golden dawn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's all there.
and yeah, it'll be, you know, on the website for you, and everybody can look at it, and we want to make sure that everybody, you know, the knowledge is free. You know, I mean, that's just how we are, and you know, I mean, it costs. That's what people don't understand. It's like, look, it costs money to operate these sites. So if you have to charge for sites, like, okay, but they're not being, nobody's being patriots about this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even like the Jasar Club, I'm like, I subscribe to that because I'm like, because it's added knowledge that you're getting that you can't get anywhere else.
Sure.
And when you break it down, it's like it's pennies.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, that's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys pay more for a cup of coffee in a day than you would for knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you rather have? I'd much rather have a cup of no than a cup of Joe.
Exactly.
I mean, that just came out all perfect. So
Did. Yeah.
It's just once you start really realizing and knowing that we actually won this, and knowing that it's like this is the greatest story. When they say the greatest story ever told, it's like you have no idea.
Yeah.
Wait till you see this one, because there's always a part two.
Yeah.
Part two it's very rarely better than the first part.
Yeah.
You counted big guy out.
Yeah.
But you did. So you didn't even know part one.
Exactly. Well, it's just absolutely wonderful at the moment, isn't it? Just to be aware and see what's going on. It's so exciting. I mean, I've never been so excited and so relaxed in my entire life, seeing what's happening.
I'm with you. And all these other people, I mean, their blood pressure, they're just like, guys.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's like everything's in the drops.
Yeah.
Everything's there. Just calm down.
This weekend, the perfect distraction. Everything's been the perfect distraction. So yeah.
This weekend is going to be Saturday and Sunday, especially Sunday.
Yep.
I just got a funny feeling that something's getting ready to break, and you know what it is. It's those two letters. I'm like, because once that does, because remember, once so much bad comes out, they have to release so much good.
Yep.
They have to completely keep it in balance.
Yep.
Well, we know how this goes.
Exactly.
We know the checklist. It's like, oh shit. I'm like, oh boy. It's like, well, get your projects ready.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, they already know because they can read our energy. You know, they know who we are at all times. They know, and I know it sounds whatever creepy or whatever. It's like there's a reason why we're here.
Yes.
Why we're here at this time and why we're doing what we're doing. It's because we accepted that role.
Exactly right.
We just need to find. They had to send out a trigger. Some got hurt or whatever. Some did this. Some did that. But everybody made a sacrifice.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. It's a self-sacrifice with time or anything else. So it's playing along nicely. So, just
It's
this is,
yeah, it's Friday and this is the weekend.
oh
Sit
God.
back and enjoy.
oh, oh,
Yeah.
you should, and make sure you have enough food and your water and all that too, because if everything goes down, it's like, because it has to.
Hmm?
I mean, that's why they told us, like, stay prepped and all that.
Yep.
So, we're prepped enough that, if others need it, it's like, yeah, we can help. So,
Yep.
it's, because it won't be long, because all these false flags and everything, they have them so screwed now.
Yeah.
It's not even funny.
No.
Murdoch, Fox News, I mean, they're putting out Hunter Biden photos and all that from the laptop. It's like,
I know.
now it's hitting mainstream. And
Yeah.
now you look at that one, it's like, the MSM with the fake pictures, and then they have like Google kill, MSM kill, and Yahoo and Facebook. It's like, what happened yesterday? Yeah, it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all that start going down.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, future, who's next?
Yeah.
It's all in the narrative.
Yeah.
You just have to. You can't look at the dates as much as you have to, because once we get past a point, you have to go by the news cycle.
Yeah.
That's why they gave, he was like, they're not posting for this song. They want us to go back and study what they put. And then they started going forward. And then we start going that, and then take a month off. It's like, go back, study, so.
The one thing that's interesting from the inside, we knew that Ghislaine Maxwell sung like a canary when she was arrested. And it's very interesting in the mainstream media. They've said that she's pleaded innocent against 2.5 to 3 million pages of evidence. So from the public perception, she's pleaded innocent. But we know behind the scenes that she's done a deal with them on the provision of information. But it's interesting how the media portray it, that she's standing her ground. She's going to be proven innocent. I'm like, okay, if you've got 2.5 million pages of evidence, you don't compile that much evidence for somebody who's innocent.
Sorry, we have over 300,000 pages here.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I can't even imagine what 2.5 million pages of evidence would be. Because what we have is just knowledge and, documents and everything. That's like, they've got all the heavy stuff. Because the NSA saved everything. It's like down to them getting a dentist appointment. It's like, there's food.
Yeah.
It's like down to the submarines. It's like everything. It's like, that's why they had to pull off 9/11.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way that we could have gotten access to everything that all the black ops people had was military intelligence, was if that went off.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks, but it's, I mean, that's gonna be a nice little, explosive deal too, when they find out really who did that. Then you'll be like, oh, so why are we over in the Middle East and doing all this, and let's find out about this whole Kinkley military city.
Sure.
And this whole European invasion of the Muslims and everything.
Yeah.
Why they started hating on them and everything. That's like, they were, even though we saw that it was real, they weren't real.
No.
As in human real, as in soul, spirit.
Yeah.
They were all created. Because what do clones do without a handler? They bite and they rape.
Yeah, exactly right.
Because once you start getting into cloning, everybody steps back. No, I can't do it. It's like, you're going to have to now. It's like right now, we're at the point where we pretty much said what's happening. I mean, we even have it down to the Mark II, Mark III, Mark IV double clones. I mean, there's that much information out there.
Yeah.
And you can't even dispute it.
No.
Because when you look at Biden, it's like, guys, why is it that in the past he had detached earlobes and he signed left-handed, but now he has attached and he signs right-handed?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, did your earlobes just attach naturally? No.
Yeah.
That's one of the things with cloning. They cannot make detached earlobes because why would they?
Yeah, exactly.
Always keep them attached.
Yeah. It's all there in plain sight.
That is.
Well,
Hidden in plain
Jason,
sight. Beautiful.
fabulous end to the week and an amazing weekend to look forward to.
That it is. That it is. And there's never an end to the week, sir. It's just
Exactly.
we just live to fight another day. We just
Exactly.
fight, and because our fight is with we use knowledge as power. We don't use
Exactly right.
violence,
Exactly right.
and that's what people have to understand. It's like we've never resorted to violence at all,
Never. Never.
and we have no reason to,
No. And even when we were provoked, we managed to keep calm.
because we knew that we were all in this together, and we knew who the real enemy was,
Exactly right.
and it's not us.
No.
Them. We knew who the problem is. It's like, guys, we're not the problem here. It's
No.
them.
Yep.
You know. So I didn't want to be around any chameleons, geckos, lizards, snakes. No, no. Keep on Anunnaki, draconian, reptilians. Just do away with them. You know, it's just that is even a whole new. But I can
Yeah.
explain something. It's just
Well,
It's
thanks
history.
very. Go on.
no, I was just saying it's just history, sir. You know, it's just
Yeah.
history.
It is, and it's all in plain sight, and that's the most important thing. You don't have to take our word for it. Do your own research, and you'll find out what we've done. You know, Jason very kindly has done a ridiculous amount of research, and so have I. Just trying to find out the truth for you guys. That's all we try and
That's
do.
Yeah, we're trying to find out for ourselves and just.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the last thing we want to do is get lied to, and it's like,
Yeah.
why do they call it history? It's
Yeah.
his story. Whose story?
Yeah. Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
It's like, why do we want a story? Why do we have the truth?
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't the truth be better than history?
Yeah.
Just saying. I mean,
Yeah.
they get us with the verbiage. So, but yeah, I
Yeah.
can't thank you enough once again. You
No,
know,
you too.
this is it's always a pleasure every Friday morning. You know,
Exactly.
people are like, oh, it's stuff. I'm like, you don't understand. I mean, it's Charlie. It's like, you know, they're like, you get up that early. I'm like, yeah, if they sleep, but right now it's tough.
Yeah, it is because
I mean,
there's so
everything's-
much.
Yeah, and it's like the information overload. It's just like it's beautiful because it's like you're watching it real time. And you're just like,
Yeah,
it's like that movie. You're just like you're locked on. You're like,
I know. Exactly. Yeah,
what happened? It's like there. It's like you start connecting. It's like then it's like,
Brilliant.
guys, we did it. You know,
we did it.
And-
We certainly did.
yep. It's we, not me. That's it.
Exactly.
Are we always kept that motto, and we'll always keep it. So
Definitely. And I'll look forward to catching up with you next week. And that's going to be a fun one.
Sir. Oh, that's the that I will. That I will. Thank
All
you very much.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, buddy. You have
All
a good
the best.
weekend.
You
You
too.
bet. Thank you.
Cheers.